and the driver of the number 21 BitNile.com Chevrolet for Ed Carpenter Racing joins us this afternoon. Rinus, 50. Where's the time gone?
Yeah, I don't know I don't know either. It's actually crazy. Beginning of this year, I was looking, and I'm longer in IndyCar now than I've spent to get to IndyCar. So I still feel like a rookie actually, but it's not.
That's a good sign. We got to get that number to grow too. So you're going to be around for a long, long time. A little success last year at Barber. Tell us about that and how much you're looking forward to going back this year.
Yeah, Barber last year was my highlight of the season. Pole position by quite a bit. That was really good. Really fun. And then unfortunately only a third place in the race. I knew I had the possibility to win the race, but made some mistakes that hopefully I can go for redemption this year and really go for that win.
Do you believe in the idea that at some tracks you just have a good feel for the layout, the track, the rhythm of it? And if so, is Barber Motorsports Park that track for you?
Yeah, Barber is a great track. And I like turning left and right. That's what I've done since I'm in go-karts, really. So yeah, the feeling is very important, but I know since last year, we just found something on the setup in Barber and on the grippy road courses. So IMS road course, Barber, that just really works for us, and hopefully we can pull that good result through.
And the good news is, after Barber, you've got the road course in Indianapolis after that. So a couple of good tracks on the schedule coming up for you. Let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Again, if you have a question, raise your virtual raised hand. We'll begin. Jack Binion from the race. Jack, how are you this afternoon?
Hey, Dave. How you doing? Good. Hey, Rinus. Good to speak to you again. I guess I wanted to ask you how sort of you feel about the first three races of the season and what your level of kind of concern is going, from those, because I guess you had the qualifying traffic issue in St. Pete, and then you had the kind of mechanical issue in Long Beach. So you're quite a way back in the points, but inside the team, do you have any level of concern about the pace in those races and how you've performed, or are you happy with how kind of everything's going and those things are a little bit outside of your control at the moment?
Well, we're definitely not happy. It's been so far disastrous as in results. Definitely not where we want to be. But we know we have pace. Long Beach wasn't where we wanted to be. Texas, there's still room to improve, but I think we really had the pace to race there in Texas. And in St. Petersburg, we were third, sixth in practice, and then something goes wrong in qualifying. And now at the end of the race, we were fighting for fifth, sixth place again. So I think we have all the cards on the table to do better, to get back to last year's results. We just have been a bit unlucky, and I think Barber, Indy Road Course, Indy 500 are those races where I can really climb back up and get to where we belong.
Thanks, Rinus. Appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
You got it, Jack. Thanks for checking in. Let's go to Ben Johnson from the Paddock Eye. Hi, Ben. How are you, sir?
Hey, Dave. I'm good, thanks. Hey, Rinus. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Rinus, obviously, like you said there in your opening statements, that you had the podium in Barber last year. What do you put that down to in terms of, is it the track layout or is it just the performance of the car there that suits you?
Well, I like the track layout. I like fast, flowy corners, but you need to have a car that does well. You can drive at 100% and nail every corner and be 10th with the car that's not good. So as a team, I got to nail the driving because the talent in IndyCar Series is so high. But also, compared to all these other teams, everyone is, working day and night to be the fastest. You gotta make the good decisions and get it right.
Right. And looking forward to this weekend, how do you expect it to go? Like, do you think you're going to be quick this weekend, or?
I think we're going to be really quick this weekend. Like Barber since the beginning, we've been fast there with our car all the time. So I expect we're going to have a good race and hopefully, again, make it through to the Fast Six, hopefully pull and, pick up where we left last year in Barber.
Excellent. Well, best of luck and see you next month in Indy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Ben. Eric Smith, Race Review Online. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Rinus, I'm just curious. You mentioned last year. How much do you still think about how that last kind of sequence went from last year? Is that something that still kind of haunts you to this day?
Well, it's fuel for nightmares, definitely. It's something, I've not been as close to winning all last year and since that moment. So we had all the ingredients to win, and I didn't make it happen in the moment where it mattered most. So really sucked, but also it's a mistake I'm never gonna make in the rest of my career. So mistakes happen for a reason, and they're good mistakes if you learn from them. And I'm really sure I'm gonna really not make the mistake anytime anymore.
And I know you're a superstitious guy. You're in a little bit of a rut right now as far as finishes. Do you change your approach or anything in between coming into this weekend? It went so well for you last year, but do you change anything about your approach?
Not really. I take a lot of time to prepare to go over in-car stuff, and of course I rewatched everything from last year. So I'm not really changing my approach, but I have higher expectations because last year was good. So I think we can rely on all the good info we had there last year, and we'll hopefully do the same thing as we did last year. But no more lucky underwear this race.
And the last one, you kind of mentioned the Dave. These natural road courses really suit your style and this team. Through the next 5 races are on these type of tracks. You got Indy next up. Your one win was there. Qualifying the 500, you're always up front. Does Barber kind of start kind of a new fresh set of a season for you where you can kind of get back into this thing? You kind of look at Barber this weekend as that?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a sequence of races where we always have been competitive, and where we basically have an opportunity to win. So that's really good. I knew fast races, especially Long Beach, was going to be a hard one for us. But yeah, it's nice to get into some races and have a lot of confidence that we can do well.
Awesome. Thanks, Rinus. Appreciate it, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Let's go to Arun Demidal. Arun, go ahead with Rinus Veekay.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, Rinus. Let's stick to English for the colleagues here. Hey, one thing you just mentioned that over the first few races, your race pace has been pretty good. Is it fair to say that the one lap pace has been your main issue at ECR? And do you guys have an idea of how to solve that?
Well, I think our one lap pace is pretty good, but it's more we don't put ourselves in a position where we can show that. In St. Petersburg, we of course got traffic in my qualifying lap, so I got screwed there. And then we had great race pace, so we had to get back from the back to the front. Then in Texas, we just went the wrong way in qualifying, and there we qualified in the back. And well, Long Beach was just a tough weekend, but I think our one lap pace is pretty good, but we have been making it up all the time in the race. So definitely one lap pace could be better.
And now, of course, we got Barber, we got IMS Road Course, we got the big one at the end of May. I mean, would you say that these 3 races that are coming up now, that those are make or break for how the rest of your season will play out?
I think so. Also for the morale of the weekend, morale of the team. I think it's important that we get just good results, and if we get there, fight for the win. We make it happen. At least we got to be at the front of the field now. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. Everyone is very fast. I think there's more fast cars than last year at the track in the IndyCar series, but. We give it all, and I think we can really, change our season with this few weekends.
Nieuwe pole position komend weekend, zal lekker zijn.
Zou heel lekker zijn.
Goed. Thanks, man. Thanks, Dave.
You got it. Thanks, Jeroen. Let's go to Bruce Martin from Speed Sport, Forbes, NBC Sports. Go ahead, Bruce.
Rinus, last year, youth wasn't only served, it was showcased. The podium was Pato Award, Alex Palou, yourself. We've had maybe younger podiums than that, but it really was one where the younger guys really took over that race. Will Power was fourth before some of the veterans showed up. What was the reason why last year's race seemed to favor the younger drivers?
I'm not really sure, actually. I think we just qualified well. I think it's a race where you cannot pass a lot. It's hard to pass. So I think I qualified on pole, Pato second, and was it Alex below third?
Yeah.
So I think still it was the same top three. So I think it really carries over from qualifying, and that's almost the same result for the race.
Is it a track that rewards aggression, or do you have to play it cool?
It rewards aggression, but you got to still be smooth. It's long, flowy corners, and you cannot throw the car around like a street course. But still, you have to make the car work.
Big night coming up Thursday night when 100 Days to Indy will be on the CW for everybody to see. You were at the private screening, the world premiere a couple of weeks ago at Long Beach. I know you can't really divulge what's in the first show, but what did you think of the first show? And what do you think it will do for the IndyCar series? I know there's some high hopes to try to make it a little bit like the same reaction Formula One got from Drive to Survive. That might be a little lofty, but what do you think of the project? What do you think of the show? What do you think it can do for IndyCar?
Yeah, I think it's a really good show. It's what IndyCar needs. We need more fans from my age, really. Guys and girls that are, just not familiar with IndyCar. They don't watch it, but everyone I've spoken to that goes to an IndyCar race, that watches IndyCar, cannot stop. They keep coming back. So you just need to have people get to the races, and then they will keep coming back. So I think new fans will be. I'm not sure how to say that. I got it in Dutch. New fans will be introduced to IndyCar and will come to the races. I think that's just very important. And we got Formula One that has very good marketing, but we really have to keep up with that as IndyCar.
And finally, going to Alabama, IndyCar has found a home at Barber Motorsports Park. It's been one of their more successful races, really embraced by the Birmingham market. Just a week ago, NASCAR was at Talladega. It's almost like fans can see two diametrically opposite forms of racing in a 7-day period. You draw a little bit more of a technical upscale Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi type crowd than maybe they do over at Talladega. But what do you think of just the fact that IndyCar has found such a great home at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama?
No, I think it's really good. We need homes like that, places where we know they will be on a schedule next year. Continuity is good. That's what we need in IndyCar, and it's good for the series. It's a fun race, good racing, and also again this weekend maybe there's going to be rain, maybe not. So it's always spectacle.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bruce. Tommy Lee, Amarillo Motorsports. Go ahead, Tommy.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. You drive for one of the biggest names in IndyCar, Ed Carpenter. Driver to driver, what kind of advice does he give you from peer to peer?
Well, he doesn't give me that much advice, I gotta say, but I can ask him a lot of questions. So in Texas, there was one thing about a pit sequence with pit stops. When everyone pits, there was one thing I wanted to know, and I can always knock on Ed's door and get an answer. And he's got so much experience, especially in ovals. I always prefer to have him go out, so he gets a good feel of the car, and I can push afterwards. So I know that the real veteran has a good feel in the car.
As an owner to driver, what kind of advice does he give you from the owner's perspective?
He gives me some advice to talk good about the media and on how to get a better better media talk going. Thank the sponsors, thank thank Chevy, of course. But it's most thing he does is just tells me to get results. We got to finish, we got to get good results and show good things whenever we need it.
Good luck this weekend in Alabama. Looking forward to that podium finish.
Thank you. Me too.
Nicely done. Mr. Albrecht from pitdebrief.com. Go ahead with Rinus. He may have frozen up on us, and now he's gone. Nope. Yep, he froze up on us. Let's go. Edmund Jenks, Motorsports Journal. Go ahead, Edmund.
Yes. Well, first off, the highest finishing Chevy at Long Beach was Will Power at P6. Is there been any discussion by Chevy to its drivers, especially you, on how well you might be able to bring things back there at Barber?
Yes, I think more of the high-speed tracks where we really pull the engines hard is where Chevy will do good. It's kind of on and off between Chevy and Honda. So I think it's very important to get a good result. So that will always help Chevy. And yeah, it's gonna be important weekend also for Chevy, but also for us as a team to just get results that really deserve.
And in terms of racing dynamics, do you see anything different having to do with the green stripe alternative tires over what you previously used there in Alabama?
I think we are using the reds like we have previously done in Barber. I think it's only the green tires that we use in the street court races.
Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake.
No problem. No problem.
And then what do you do to make certain that if you get a P1 that you ending up P1 after qualifications?
Well, in Barber, it's important. Keep the tires lasting. Make sure you don't drop off a cliff and be consistent. If you be consistent, if you are not making any mistakes and just hitting your marks every lap, it's hard for the guy behind you to find a gap where he can pass you. So that's important. But also, whenever he gets close, make sure to use my push to pass to defend and and break as late as possible to keep him behind.
Well, looking forward to a great result and good luck to you, Rinus.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Edmund. Mr. Albrecht, we'll try you once again. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Rinus. Good luck, first of all, for Alabama next weekend. But I also wanted to look forward a bit to the month of May. Last week you missed one test day. Well, not you alone, but also the rest of the drivers. How confident are you going into the Indy 500 and the preparations in the coming months?
Yeah, I'm very confident. Indy has always been a very good track for us. We've always been very fast, and that one day of testing was very important. There was a very big wind, tailwind into turn 2, and headwind out of turn 4. But it's still very good to get some running in, get some marks, and also get the race running going.
Okay, well, good. Thank you very much, and heel veel succes komend weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Let's go, Gabrielle, Grande Premio. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Rinus. How are you? My question, IndyCar, something that everybody praises about IndyCar is the fact that most drivers actually have a chance on winning, on scoring a podium, on scoring a pole. You actually did all the three before. But since the end of the last season and the beginning of this season, we've seen more like monopolized, I believe, by the big four teams. Do you believe that the gap is growing between the big teams and the smaller teams, or do you think it's something that's just occasional because of the circumstances?
Well, one thing, they are very consistent. That's one thing for them. They are consistently up there, and I think we, as a smaller team, have not had a chance yet to show show some real danger. But that is the goal for the next few races. I think we can really, we can really attack and give those guys a run for their money. Hopefully we can pull through to the season, throughout the whole season. But it's important to go week by week, weekend by weekend, and we can do that.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I wanted to follow up, Rinus, on 50th NTT IndyCar Series start. When you started out as a young man, not that you aren't now by any means, but did you? Does 50 sound like a lot? Does it? Are you obviously you're very proud of the fact that you're still part of this series? You got a win under your belt at IMS Road Course. I mean, where do you think you are right now in your development?
I'm pretty high in my development now. I think I've learned a lot if I compare myself to a few years ago.
Yeah.
To my first few races, I was a young guy. In the team we called the Wild Boar, where I was just so on it all the time. You got to finish too. So I think I'm a bit more responsible now, more responsible driver, and also I just got so much more experience by making those mistakes as a young Wild Boar.
I don't think I've heard the Wild Boar reference before. That's fantastic. Who came up with that?
Lee Benton, my driver coach.
Lee, okay.
yeah, he comes up with the funny names.
We did a piece with Lee last week. It's going to, I think, get posted later on this week. So anyway, it's pretty good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, very nice.
He's a great driver coach.
Yeah, for sure. Martin Benavides, pit lane. Go ahead, Martin.
Hi, David. Hi, Rinus. The last few days, there's been some rumors that said that Liberty Media could buy the IndyCar, the owners of the Formula One. Although Bud Denker has already refused that option, it's true that there have been some approaches between Formula One and IndyCar in the past months. How would you see these approachments, and what's your point of view of some future alliance between IndyCar and the Formula One?
I hope that's not going to happen ever. I like the competition between IndyCar and Formula One. They're both the leading series in the world. Formula One is now kind of taking over the US, but I think IndyCar is still the series here. And I think it's always nice. It keeps everyone sharp if we keep battling. And I don't want IndyCar to become a step up in the ladder towards Formula One.
Thank you so much, and good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, Rinus, not for sale. I think it's the best way to just wrap that up. I think we're good there. Mateus Vieira from Paddock News. Mateus, go ahead.
Thanks, Dave. Rinus, I want to ask you that this next race is the last in the month of April, and then we go to Indianapolis. So for you guys in the team, what's the importance of finishing this month strong? And what's the momentum to keep to Indianapolis? Of course, you have a win in the road course, and you guys are always strong in the oval. So what's the importance of this race thinking on May?
It's going to be very important. We come off a few very bad results. So we need also for the team, for all the crew that is working hard to get a result back and, get some euphoric stuff going on, some happiness in the team. I think it's really good. We can really do it. Barber has been a really good track for us. And then Indy Road Course, Indy 500, we've always been up there. So I think it's going to be looking very good. And Barber definitely brings momentum to the next coming races.
And as Dave mentioned it earlier, it's our fifth start. It has been like 3 years since your rookie season. And how do you think that your career has developed and this kind of things? I think you are one of the favorite drivers here in Brazil. So how do you think this? How do you get that momentum?
I think my career so far has been pretty good. Of course, I would have loved a bit more progression in my standings at the end of the seasons, but it's been good. I've been learning hard, and I've been making some mistakes, learning hard from those again, because if you never make a mistake, you'll never learn. And I really feel like I progressed a lot, became a lot more mature, and hopefully I can make another step to be one of the guys to beat in the future.
Thanks and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Matthias, thank you. If you have a follow-up for Rinus, now is the time to let us know. Asher, stand by. Ben, I know you've got a follow-up. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dave. Rinus, obviously testing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway during the week and then going to Barber. Does that do you lose concentration in that regard, having been at Indy for what should have been the 2 days, but obviously weather related, you weren't able to run the second day? Or going into the test, are you able to compartmentalize? I've got the test and then I've got the race,
Well, it's always great to get 2 days of testing there, but we get so much testing in Indy where at one point you almost get a bit anxious because you get too much time in the car, and at one point the car is good and you want everything to stop and you want to qualify and race with that. So we get enough, even if there is no test, I would be fine with the time we have coming to Indy, but it's definitely nice to get into that oval mode a little bit and study before we get back to the track.
Yeah, excellent. Well, best of luck this weekend and see you in May.
Thank you. See you then.
Cheers, Dave.
Okay, Ben. Thanks again. Asher Ferris, you've been patiently waiting for your friend Rinus Veekay. Go ahead with Rinus.
Yes, sir. So how are you, Rinus?
I'm good. How are you, Asher?
I am good. So I talked to Connor and he said that he struggles at Barber, but he said you're really good. So he's looking forward to getting some tips from you. Like if you were I would say as driver coach, not like really, but yeah. What kind of tips would you give Connor to help him succeed there?
I will give Connor a few tips. There's a few things in Barber. It's getting to power. It's one thing that is very important to make sure you can really get a compact part of rotation in the corner and get to power as soon as possible to get all the momentum throughout the straightaways, which, that is something I am constantly working on, and it's never perfect. So if I have to tell anyone, where can you improve in Barber? It's on getting to power as soon as possible every corner.
And so you mentioned earlier that it's hard to pass at Barber. So what turn would be the hardest one to pass at Barber?
I think the hardest turn to pass in is, I think it's going to be turn 8? It's that chicane downhill when we grab all that curb right at the museum. That is a turn where if people pass there, stuff can go really wrong because there's no space for two cars.
All right. Thanks, Rinus. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
You got it, Asher. Good questions. So is there a cake this weekend for you? Is there a celebration? Is there a special hat? What's happening? Do we know yet?
I think we got to ask that to Prix, who is the PR lady in the team. She is the one that gets the golden balloons and the big celebrations going.
All right. Well, no pressure, Prix. I see you're on here, but happy 50th coming up this weekend. And can't wait to see that at Barber Motorsports Park. Bring some rain tires. It looks like it might have a chance of raining either Friday, Saturday, or maybe even Sunday. So we'll see what happens.
We will see. I like some shakeups.
That'll shake it up. That's for sure. Thanks again, Rinus. Our thanks to the driver, the number 21, BitNile.com Chevrolet, Fred Carpenter Racing, and Rinus Veekay. A reminder, the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix comes up Sunday. If you're not joining us down in Birmingham, you can watch it live on NBC